Just filled up a full SD card now. Have to start making edits soon.
We can say hello.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna start at this end, work my way along the floor all the way to that end. Oh, glorious sanding. Standing fiberglass sucks, so I brought in the axe. It's hard to get into this in-between section here, between the chop it out a little bit. So the prep work on this was a lot of work. I used the axe and the chisel and chopped out all the fiberglass that was standing tall and wasn't connected to the hull.
Because that's YouTubers too.
Okay.
Yeah. We can make a YouTube channel when the boat is done and in the water.
Alright, just grinded out these pieces of foam. There's water inside of them, so I'm doing the right thing by taking them out. Centerboard trunk, yeah. Glass up to that. I'm going to take out those two pieces as well on either side and glass over the top of this. I might drill a hole up here all the way through just to feel what sort of material comes out of it. It looks to me like they've glassed every piece, they've glassed together and glassed it in. So if I just encapsulate it, so I'm going to go from that bulkhead all the way through here, encapsulate all of this. I had to buy a really long drill bit, and it's still a little bit wet in there. A few hot days in here, it gets really hot, so it should dry out good. I'm running out of memory card. I've got a location for the boat in the water now too, over in the big lake next to where I live. In my first week of vacation, I should get everything done. The second week of my vacation in the water, there's a lot more work to be done. Carbon and some glass and some tape and the thickening agent. I've got some carbon mat as well. I'm just going to put it in the bottom just to make it even stronger. Just want to get the foam glued in. Right, like I did before, give everything a wipe out with acetone just to make it easier for the epoxy to stick, even though the epoxy sticks to pretty much everything. That should dry out the inside foam a little bit so everything sticks good. I've got 100 of resin this time and hardness, so this should go off a bit slower. The last one was a little bit hot, so I'll get that mixed up. This is all going to be encapsulated in glass anyhow, so I'm just going to do a rough job. Just going to paint another paintbrush. The worst thing about doing work with epoxy and stuff is you go through so much rubbish. It's really annoying having so much rubbish. I think this is going to be a really nice boat eventually, and hopefully this boat will last a lot longer. Someday it'll be some other person's, and they'll get to enjoy it as much as I have, or I will eventually when I'm finished with it. Throw in some carbon. This is being totally soaked, and this is just going to make this repair a little bit tougher over time. Then I need to thicken this. Thicken resin, kind of like that's good. Get some on this. This is going to get jammed in there. Yep, that piece there. Paste that resin. Thicken resin. Super dodgy, but it's going to be super strong anyhow. Because it's, yeah. And this piece goes on top of there. I can paint that. Coat that with thick epoxy as well. This foam is awesome. It doesn't absorb water at all. So once it's in here, it's just going to be a barrier
everything else. And then this one. Can't really remember which way it went, like that, yeah. Alright, coat this one with thickened epoxy. Throw in some chops around just to soak up all that resin down the bottom, make it stronger. Press that in. Pull it out, Cam. And I'll just slot these down in here, take up the space.
It's 6 in the morning. I'm in the boat. It's 12 degrees. It's gonna get to 22 or something degrees today, 25. But I've got all my stuff ready: the carbon, the resin, the hardener, lightweight filler mixed up, and I've just filled in this end here. And there's a hole around the corner here that I had to fill as well. And I skimmed a few of the real hard bumps on the bottom where the other glass was joining, so I don't get air bubbles under that. Now I'm going to go and paint it with resin and put the carbon on this underneath this section. It's starting to get really hot in here. Glassed everything over all the way out to past this thing. I just did a square around it, so I've got like 2 layers of glass, one underneath and then carbon in between. This was a bit difficult, this section. Got some bubbles at the top here, but that'll be fine. It's wrapped around here all a couple of different directions, and then all the way in. The carbon didn't reach. It was 1 metre by 1 metre. The carbon didn't reach all the way up. But there's 2 layers of glass up there, and carbon starts a little bit lower and wraps. The carbon goes over this spine in the middle here completely. Anyhow, come in through here, and it just becomes, the carbon just becomes a patchwork quilt, which should make it a bit stronger. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's going to get to 25 degrees today, so I'll stop now and then I'll do the other direction. I'll come this other way now. Need some spray foam. I'm going to drill a hole in that and spray foam in there today, and then I'll work from this direction. It's been so hot in the middle of the day, I haven't been able to do this. So if you can notice the lamp flickering, it's because it's the middle of the night and I've got a fluoro tube in here. I'm done with that bit. It's morning now. It took me about 4 hours to get this bit done. Sorry about the flashing lights, but this is where the mast is going to sit down on. Yeah, I drew 2 lines on the cup so I could just pour 100 grams real fast every time, and so this took me at least 4 hours to do. So there's so much glass in that, and I've done all the complex curves now. That's the hardest part. That was the hardest part. This other section should be nice and easy. This section, I've just glued in the stringers there. I haven't glassed them. I'm just going to glass them with normal fiberglass. They're just to hold up the boards that the water tanks sit on. So yeah, just did a square around this. This had some air pockets in it, so I had to redo that a little bit. Still a little bit sticky on the floor here, but I think it's okay. So this top section up here is only small, so I cut strips and then cut them in half. I'm going to have to clean up all this area so I can work from up above, because this is a little bit too sticky still to go on. The glass fibre I'm using is just from Biotema and carbon as well. It comes in metre squares. the weight on the carbon fibre is 200 grams, means I'm using 200 mils of the glass fibre is like 300 mils, quite a bit more, and it's pretty strong. I think that's enough to get past the first little bulkhead. So I'm actually going to glass that bulkhead in. So once I just get past that, I'll put the bulkhead back together, like that somehow, and glue them in, glass them in as well. I'm compressing this quite a bit. Shouldn't actually be standing on this yet. Anyhow. But this is my mixing station, so it's pretty difficult to do it without standing on this. From the first lot, it's easier to put the glass fibre down and then put the carbon over the top and not do another layer of glass fibre over the top of the carbon, because the carbon gets a nice finish on it. Alan, get it up against this edge, up the top here, the best I can. And the reason why I like to put the carbon over the top is because then I've got a really good saturated glass fibre underneath. And then that helps the carbon wet out, and it also takes a little bit of the resin out of the glass fibre, because oversaturated glass fibre is not good either.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have still much more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is your camera? So, a lot of work.
Yep. Okay, so if you've made it this far, you must love watching fiberglass work. This was a lot more work than you can see on the film. Took me about 2 weeks to get this done. If you like the content, just hit the like button and subscribe. That really helps the channel apparently. Thank you for watching.
So much talent.
Yeah? I'm really good at this, am I?
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Like a pro.
I'm like a professional?
Yeah.
A professional boat builder?
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, mate.
Ashley,
Yeah.
you have to be really careful with the electric.
Yeah, and then in here I'm done as well. Finished the front, still kind of not happy I had to stand on all this stuff. It's pretty hard to see, but you can see that it looks really good now. Those bulkheads, I just did strips of carbon because I had there's still some air pockets in there, but with the carbon, the glass and stuff, it should be fine. A little bit wet in here. I've got some carbon strips because I don't want to put a bulkhead in here at all. Really happy with that.